congratulations, first game, job done. You were the favourites and some great goals tonight as well.
Yeah, very, very good result. At this stage of the season, it's also normal that you have to manage different kind of things. And yeah, overall, I think the performance has been good, and we won the game.
Before the game, we spoke about your team selection. I asked you if the Chelsea fans might be lucky enough to see their summer signing, Liam Delap. He came on, of course, got the assist on his debut. He looked to slot in so seamlessly. Is that how it's been in training?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The good thing about Liam is that he knows the way we want to play, so the process is quite quick. Also, we give chance to Dario Sugo, that is another player, so good for both of them.
As I mentioned, great start for the first game. Up next, you've got Flamengo. Here it felt like you had a huge Chelsea fan base. Flamengo, of course, one of the biggest clubs in world football. The Brazilian fans have been showing up. How do you prepare your team for such an atmosphere like that?
Yeah, now we need to recover. We have a game in 3 days, and we see. But for sure, we're gonna try to prepare the game in the best way and try to win.
Thank you. Congratulations.
The thoughts there of Enzo Maresca after Chelsea ran out 2-0 winners in their opening Club World Cup game against LAFC. I've watched this one with John Obi Mikel and Callum Wilson. Callum, firstly, was that very much a case for Chelsea of job done?
Yeah, I think we said before the game that we thought Chelsea would go out victorious today. I think LAFC did themselves proud. We spoke about Bouanga before the game, and he showed up. He had a few great chances throughout the game. And, yeah, Chelsea deserved the win in the end.
Yeah, it was job done, but important to remember that particularly at 1-0, LAFC did have chances, really.
Yeah, they did have chances. I thought they played well, I think, especially the second half. I think sometimes, the final pass is what kind of let them down. But, I was very impressed with the way they played. They kept the ball really well. They defended really, really well. But, of course, when you have, players with quality like we do, we're going to score, and that's what happened, and I'm very pleased as well for the new boy Delap. He's coming and he's got an assist, so yeah, job done.
Yeah, Enzo Maresca saying there that he did have to wait to come off the bench, got that assist, but has been doing really well in training. You've been very complimentary there about LAFC, but I know really you want to focus on the positives for Chelsea, so let's get those underway, shall we? Let's see the goals that have given them the win. This is the first goal that came in the first. A nice finish as well from Pedro Neto.
Yeah, nice finish, of course. Nicholas Jackson, like I said, he's got some really good touches. Just brilliant pass here to Pedro Neto. And for me, this chap here as well just killed it. And of course, in his favorite left foot, just what a great finish. What a good goal. I think all around Nicholas Jackson today, I thought he was brilliant. When he played really well. He was always stretching the play, running behind defenders, and that's what he does really well. But then, of course, with his quality as well on the ball, you can see that pass here for Pedro Neto to finish. For me, brilliant game today from Nicholas Jackson.
What did you make of it, Callum? I think we've seen you do a few of those chops in your time.
Well, I mean, when the defender's coming so far across and he's blocking your angle to get the shot across, especially with Neto being left-footed, it was inevitable he was going to try and check back on his left foot. He did so. He slipped as he put the ball in the back of the net as well. But I think, like Mikel says, the weight of pass from Nicholas Jackson was what was impressive, really. To play it blindside through the defender as well, he basically put it on a plate for him.
Yeah, it looks like Pedro Neto certainly enjoyed that with his celebration. I think there might have been a bit of needle between him and some of the LAFC players. We spoke about it pre-match, though, that relationship when Nicholas Jackson is playing well, when he finds that ball through, he can be so key for Chelsea, and that's what we saw in that goal.
Yes, he can. I think it link-up play all the time between him and Cole Palmer is very, very important for us. I think it's kind of the way we play. We play really well. We play out from the back, but then when that ball hits Nicholas Jackson, his link-up play with Cole Palmer is always brilliant. And when that happens, we tend to play really, really well, and that's what we've seen today. Great play as well. I thought Cole Palmer today, in between the lines, he was creating chances. He was getting those balls, turning, playing all those nice passes, and that's what I love to see. I think it was a complete brilliant performance from the team. I also think the defenders as well were very, very solid today.
Yeah, getting the clean sheet, they'll be happy with that as well. Let's see the second goal that Chelsea scored then, because as I said before, this came when they were seeing LAFC have a few chances. They needed this second goal, didn't they? Yeah,
I think they needed the second goal to obviously kill the game and swing it in their favour, because LAFC, if they were a bit more clinical, then obviously they would have got back in the game. But Cole Palmer, like we mentioned before the game, behind everything good that was coming from Chelsea. And Delap's movement was what was key for me. He made it 2 or 3 times beforehand and got himself an opportunity. And then that time, he's created an opportunity and a goal-scoring one for Enzo. But as a striker, when you're in that position, you know exactly where you want the ball and how you want the ball. And I think that was the key behind it.
But this man here as well, I think something is added to his game is goal scoring. I think that's what the manager's made pretty clear that he needs to add to his game. And we've seen that this season. He's arriving now, the perfect time in the box, and he's getting those rewards and he's getting those goals. And that's what I love to see from Enzo Fernandez. If he keeps doing this and arriving in the box at the right time, he keep getting those goals.
OK, well, he was the man that everyone was talking about pre-match. He started on the bench, but Liam Delap did have an impact when he came on. Let's hear from him now.
Liam, congratulations. What a debut. You come off the bench and you get an assist. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's really happy feeling for me. I think I'm so excited to be here and, to play my first game and contribute. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
A lot of Chelsea fans were hoping they would see you today. You seem to slot into the side so easily. I asked the manager if that was the case in training too. Do you feel you're adjusting really well to the team?
Yeah, I think, they've welcomed me really well, and I've only had a few sessions here, but I can't wait for even more.
You got 1 assist, there was nearly another. Can we expect more of that going forward?
Yeah, obviously I think it's really important to help the team, but I want to score some as well.
And just finally, speaking about scoring goals, how much do you thrive when it comes to competition? Of course, Nico Jackson has been that #1 up front. Do you enjoy having to push each other, trying to be in the manager's mind?
Yeah, I think it's always healthy to have competition. It's football and this is an incredible club, so it's always going to be hard. But I think you've got to thrive off the competition.
Thanks so much and congratulations, Liam.
Yeah, there is now competition in those Chelsea forward areas. Is that what they needed, Callum, do you think, to maybe get the best out of the different types of strikers that they've now got?
Yeah, exactly that. They've both gone today and got an assist each, so it puts something in the manager's mind. For Delap, he's come in as a substitute and still performed, so the manager now knows that he can trust him. Like he said there, he's only had a few training sessions, so he's going to take time to bed in, but that there will do his confidence the world of good. #9 at Chelsea, big shirt to fill, and he's probably feeling like, you know what, this is easy.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually. He's got that #9 shirt. Does that bring a bit of added pressure?
A lot of players, like we were speaking about pre-game, shy away from the #9 shirt because, the history in it, and it's not, notoriously been successful, but he's took that on, and he's, he seems like a young lad who's really ready to give it a go, and I guess, like you've seen today, he's going for it.
Come on then, what do you take away from his first minutes in a Chelsea shirt? Is he the man that Chelsea fans have wanted to score the goals? Because they've created so many chances over the last season or so, but they've needed someone to put them away. Is it going to be him?
Yeah, we needed somebody to come in and score those goals and finish those chances. But obviously, he wasn't the guy that the fans wanted. Obviously, we know who the fans wanted. The fans wanted Victor Osimhen to come to the football club, but he didn't. Obviously, the club decided to go with Delap. He's young. I think he's going to improve. He's going to get better. Hopefully, he hits the ground running, and of course, then he's going to, quieten those doubters. I wish him well. I hope he succeeded, in this club.
You're being too nice here. Tell me what you thought of what you saw tonight. I know it was only a limited sample size, but do you think he can?
I think he can. I think the runs, what I saw today, the runs running behind defenders, and of course, with that assist, I think he can be the guy that will finish those chances. But I also think Nicholas Jackson, let's not forget, I think he's going to be the main man. He just needs to work on his finishing.
So you think he's still going to be the main man?
I think he's still going to be the guy who's going to start the season. But then during the season, if he's not scoring, strikers, if he's not scoring, then of course Delap gets his opportunity. And it's just the way it works. A healthy competition is very important.
How did you feel the fluidity of the Chelsea attack was in general? Because we know they've got so many options there. I guess for Enzo Maresca, it's just finding out the best balance, the best combination. Yeah,
exactly. And I think for Enzo, it's about how do you supply the forward players with the ball. So it's everything that happens before that, phases of play, building up from the back, having full-backs, centre-backs that can play through the lines. That's what's going to give Cole Palmer time on the ball to turn and then
all comes back to Cole Palmer, doesn't it?
I mean, if he plays that kind of free role, doesn't he, where he can roam side to side, he's kind of drifting in that number 10 position. So for him, obviously, then he gets the ball, gives the forwards the opportunities to go and flourish. And I think with obviously, the situation with Nicholas Jackson, I don't know if you got his name then, but I think for him, having competition behind him, it's obviously healthy now, and he knows that, you know, he's got someone breathing down his neck, and that will elevate his game as well, and, you know, work on the things that he needs to work on.
Plenty to be optimistic about then coming out of that game. Was that just what Chelsea needed? Goals, clean sheet, move on to the next?
Exactly what we needed. Obviously, like I said before the game, we finished the season really well by qualifying for the Champions League. I think that was the #1 priority for the club. Finish top four, top 5, qualify for the Champions League. We did that, of course, winning the Conference League. And now going into this tournament, if we can be able, that's another silverware for us to win. If we can win this tournament, it's going to be an amazing season for us leading up to next season.
Yeah, it does feel like they've got a bit of momentum. Chelsea had a really strong end to the season, and maybe, I know it's a bit of a weird thing to say momentum when you've had that little bit of a break, but it does maybe feel like they're bringing that into the Club World Cup.
And I feel that with the lack of time off that they're going to get as well, they'll build confidence during this tournament, and then they won't be too far after it until it's back into the normal Premier League season again. So I think that momentum will be key. They'll be able to take it in. They might get a week or two off, but then they're straight back into it. But I think with the young squad, that freshness, we don't need a rest, you know. They've got energised legs and things like that, so they'll be able to go straight away. They're like Duracell bunnies, so they'll be fine, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess when you talk about freshness, their winning kind of, I guess, makes you feel a little bit fresher, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it does. It brings a lot of positivity around the players. I think if you look at the players now, you know, they feel so confident in the way they play. Caicedo, for me, has been the outstanding player this season. The way he plays, this is his team. He commands everything. He bosses that midfield. We can see that today again. Tackles, breaking up plays. That's what I love to see. And the whole team is just playing together. Everybody knows exactly what to do. And Enzo Maresca have done that since taking over. This is just a brilliant team. And he's building something special. Don't forget, the team is a very young team. You know, we're putting so much pressure on them. There's a very young team. If you look at this team in the next 2, 3, 4 years, I think we might be talking about winning the Champions League.
Oh. And on that note, we're going to go to a break, because that's exactly where Chelsea fans would like the mic drop to be. But still plenty